Hello everybody, this is James with Jammin Classics. Today we've got some more topics that we're going to cover and talk about, and we hope you enjoy the video. A lot of the newer modern muscle cars and just daily drivers have a lot of similar features to each other, and sometimes without a badge on the car, it's hard to even tell what they are. Obviously, the iconic Mustang, Camaro, Corvette. Obviously, anybody can pick those out of a crowd. Now, being able to pick out what year model it is can be difficult. Okay, the difference, I think, and I know, is that all of your newer vehicles, it all falls back to technology. These cars are being designed on computer. So the details, the fitment, the gaps, everything is perfect, and that's because of technology. These cars, were hand built essentially. They went down an assembly line, and there were guys with tools putting these cars together. The engineers, prior to the assembly of the cars, hand design, hand drawings, and everything to design and develop these cars. So there was a lot of trial and error and test fitment and figuring out what works and what didn't work. I remember back in the day that anytime a new model of a vehicle typically came out, a lot of times you didn't want to run out and buy that first year vehicle, because you knew that the next year was going to have the input of that production year, and they're going to make all the corrections and make it better, usually by the second year. The 68 Camaro was a fine example. When they came out with that car, the rear shock staggering and everything on it was all wrong. 69, they fixed it. And so that's just the way it was back then. It was trial and error and pen and paper to build and design these cars, and so that makes them more of an art, Yeah, it's right. Well, the newer cars now, I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do to make them look different. I mean, they've got bolt-on spoilers and air dams and different tires and wheels that you can put on them, and then but you don't switch and swap multiple different year model vehicles into your existing car like you could do back in the day, and so it's the cosmetics are about the only thing you can do to be unique on the newer cars. Have a wrap put on it, have stripes put on it, have different tires and wheels put on it, have this, that and the other. But I don't know, there was just something about the old classic. It just has an appeal that's, it's my era. Well, I don't keep up that much with the foreign culture of cars and stuff, but I mean, I know they're out there. I mean, the Nissan with their GTR and all of these cars. I mean, they've got some phenomenal stuff. The imports have always had some pretty cool cars. Back in the day of the 240Z and the 260 and 280 and there were some cars out there that were they were trying to break into that muscle car market, here, especially here in America. But other than that, they were just more, they called them economy cars back then, and that was the only reason you bought a Toyota or a Datsun, as they were called back then, is because they were economy cars. You could get better gas mileage with them, but we always called them basically just throwaway cars. But hey, that's times change, and some of them are very highly sought after now, and that's cool. I love it. Yeah, the thing about that's the same with even the American muscle cars. All of these cars, you always hear the story of like, I wish I still had that car from the past, you know. If I had all the old cars that I had back then, I'd be rich. Well, no, you wouldn't. You'd be car poor. You'd have all these cars, and they wouldn't do you any good unless you sold them. Okay, otherwise you just have them. It's a sentimental thing. You have them, you love them, and you take care of them. But you know, it's just the way of evolution and the times. You know, that's just part of it. I think it's cool. Yeah, with the electric car, you know, craze and that coming along, that's yeah, that's, you know, I think it's cool. I love seeing the technology. I love seeing all technology improvements and upgrades and stuff. But yeah, I don't know if I can get that excited over them as much as these cars. There's just something about a heavy cam, race gas, tire smoke, and just loud noise that just make these cars cool. You know, I truly believe that is the reason that God limits our time on earth. Because they know that, you know, by your lifespan, by the end of your lifespan, things are going to be changing so much that you wonder why there's so many grumpy old people. It's because because there's been so much change, they're ready to go. So, yeah.
I know what you feel, because like, especially in new technology.
Oh yeah, I think it's cool. You know, depending on how long I live, and you know, I will always you know, be running this company, and so, you know, I can't say that I'm looking forward to the next evolution of muscle car, but I will embrace it. I think it's really, you know, I'm really excited to see what the possibilities are. Yeah, with all of these cars, with, you know, now they've got, you know, some of the electric packages now that they actually encase the electric motor inside of a V8 shell, so it looks like a V8 and can go in these classic cars and hook up to the transmissions and the whole 9 yards, and you have an electric operated, you know. So I guess the only thing left would be to make some hot rod sounds come across the stereo inside the car so it sounded cool. So. The Mach E, the Mach E, yeah. I think it's, you know, I think it's really, I don't know about the name being used like that on the car. I think it would have been better suited maybe as a standalone, you know, crossover type vehicle from a car to, you know, a SUV, and because that's really what it's meant to be, is more of a crossover vehicle. And I mean, I love the design, I love the look of it and everything. I just think it probably could have had its own designation. I don't, you know, Mach E is like, yeah. I think they could take that back to the drawing board and come up with a little bit, you know, cooler name for it. But yeah, I love where they're going with it. It's pretty cool. I don't know, you know, all of the self-driving modes and stuff like that. That to me, with the steering wheel on anything, you know, especially when you start talking about, you know, the horsepower numbers some of these cars have, the possibility of just being able to lay back and relax while it runs down the road. I think if the technology, I can see that this is probably baby steps to the technology being developed for you know, self-driving completely in transportation and all, you know, where there's you know, can be roads designed and developed with sensors in the road that the cars communicate with and allow you to just program in where you want to go, and and it takes you across the country on a network of roads and highways that are designed for these cars. It'll never happen, I don't think, in my lifetime, but it'll be interesting looking down to see how it comes up.
The way you described it, it sounded kind of like the next evolution of the train track.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have it interconnected like that.
Yeah. So it just being able to be more diverse, you know, where trains, high-speed trains, and things like that have to, you know, they have to pretty much operate in a long-distance, straight-line type of scenario where a self-driving vehicle can, you know, take you to the grocery store and back. You know, if they get to the point where the roads or the striping in the roads or whatever the case may be, the technology takes them to be able to, you know, network that car into a network of road maps, and it take you where you want to go. That could be interesting. I mean, I don't know. It'll be in another lifetime, not mine. Hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in today. I hope we talked about, you know, a lot of interesting stuff for you. And, you know, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you like the video, you know, give us a like and stay tuned. We're going to have some more coming up. We're going to talk about some other subjects, and we've got some classic films that we're going to, you know, get, you know, start posting of some of the old road racing and stuff like that I used to be a part of back in the 60s and 50s. And, you know, so we've got some good stuff coming. You guys subscribe and like, and we'll be back to see you.